Thank you very much. It's good to see you again tonight. We're going to do 2 sessions again tonight, of which the first one is chapter 9, that's called relationships. It's actually so good to go through all these things, because, success is not something that the Lord has hidden from us. Success is not something, that is sort of impossible and only accessible for a very few people, It is really there. The biggest problem of success is mainly number one, to come to understanding what is success and how do all these things fit together. And at the end of the day, no ingredient of success is really such a problem, but the fact that you need to exercise yourself in it and get the whole parcel or the whole package together in your life. And because it's not a fixed thing, it's not maybe like an engine, if you can say. It's more an organic process that you see, okay, I'm lacking more of this, I need to jack up a little bit of this and wherever. And to constantly evaluate yourself to see, okay, where is things falling through and where is something of strength. We like to run on our strengths. That's not wrong, because our strengths need to be our focus. But we need to be honest with the things that's maybe not our natural gifted talents. Because some people have the gifted talent, some personality types are much more, aggressive, and, they go for some stuff while other people are not. But every personality type has got something that other people do not have. But you can exercise yourself also in all these aspects and all these things at the end of the day eventually. So tonight we're talking about relationships. We've said last time that our basic formula of success is knowledge, skill, activation, and then we need to repeat that, and now we add on relationships, because all of these things are happening in a context of relationships. Man is a relational being. It's extremely important to understand it. Not that we want to make everything of relationships, because relationships is not the focus, but it is the means through which everything happens. People connect with each other, and there is a flow of life, there's things happening. Yes, the relationship is the channel, it is not the end. It is not that we make everything of relationship, no, but if there is not a relationship, whatever maybe beautiful product that you have cannot flow into the world, and you cannot live it if there is not relationship. Wherever you go, we work with people. If it's business or social or spiritual or whatever, everywhere, everything is around people. It flows from people, out of people, back to people. And man is not only a relational being, his whole being finds its existence and its growth and its maturity within this framework or atmosphere called relationships. So relationships is not an optional thing on the table, I want to decide if I want to know people or not or whatever. Because relationships is actually the world wherein you live, from which you tap. And the more you exercise yourself to be relationally strong and to handle relationships and also to handle the wrong that can happen in relationships, the better your chances are to live that success. One person once said that, the world would be a wonderful place, except for the fact, that there is people at the moment, If people weren't there, this world would be really an excellent place. It sounds so good in words, but it is not good, because it wasn't designed that way. Just stay maybe, alone somewhere for the whole year, and you'll see you were not designed for that. We were made to reach out. We were made to connect. We were made to have intimacy with people. We were made to flow with life. We were made to download from other people. We were made to look at other people and see in their lives as mentors, and learn from them. That's why man is born man is conceived in a relationship, he's born in a relationship, he's raised in a relationship called family, And then he goes and he forms a family himself, and he goes on with the same process. So family is not an optional thing. Family is about relationships. Relationships is about value, and value is about identity. Remember, that's the process. If you find identity, you found value. If you found value, you can find relationships. If you found relationships, you can have family. Those four things is running together. It's like one thing. And if you miss one of those components, then you will have problems in your life. So we've always said, that as water is for the goldfish, so is relationships for man. A goldfish can go a month without food. It's not that he can go for eternity without food. It's not that food is not important. But take him 10 minutes out of the water and he's gone. And in such a way, relationships is the same for man. It's as if, when you look at the fish, you don't sort of even see the water, you just see the fish. But it's important, the fish is only the fish in its real sense when it's in the water. Man is only the real man that he was made for if he functions within these relationships. Because you were meant to be someone that bless people, that influence people, that give something to people, that's something for someone else, that draw from some other people. It is like an invisible atmosphere we are in, but it is extremely important. And if you don't handle that relationships correctly, it is a problem. We've got a course on its own called Relationship Wise, where you can find all the mechanics and the detail and the nuts and the bolts about relationship that I will really recommend for you. Because we talk about this in relationship, but when I ask people, okay, tell me what is a relationship? Then they said, then they don't know. Where are you in this relationship? What do you mean? Where am I? Because there are phases in relationship. We are in different forms of relationship. We are in different phases with different people. We are confused concerning relationship, although it's meant to be our natural atmosphere. Because it is something we are in every day, but we don't talk about it. It's as if it's not on the table. We don't talk about relationships. And we see that we are not very good in it, in the sense that we see how many relational problems we have that we don't get sorted out. To be quite honest, all our church situations, it's like denominations upon denominations, is not because of doctrine. It's because of relational problems. If I can't function with you, I start my own church. Type of thing. That's what we get used to. We just divide. We just break up. And we don't know how to heal the thing, because there's problems, there's challenges in relationships. But we need to go through it, and the best part of the relationship is on the other side of the problem. To need to go through it and handle it. Okay, so I really recommend that you do something to educate yourself concerning relationships, to find out what is the phases, which people are you really in relationship with. Because sometimes people say, I've got a relationship with this person, and I think, no, you don't have a relationship. You've got exposure to the person. You see this person maybe here and then, you have a nice quick talk, but it's not really a relationship, because we don't know what relationship is. Okay, relationships is extremely important in the whole process of success, as we've said, because this success the process will not only work into you, the successing through relationships, but to live the success, you need these relationships at the end of the day. Just to look quickly at the 7 relationships that you have in your life. Number 1, you are a spiritual being. You need a relationship with your Creator. You need to understand that this is the source of energy in your life. You need to understand where you're coming from, what you're living for, why are you living. What is your identity? Because it's coming from your Creator Himself. You need to understand the relationship with yourself. Because there is maybe, in these first 2, is maybe the biggest problem why people do not achieve success. Because they do not know their identity, number 1, and number 2, they are in such a fight and a sabotage in their relationship with themselves that they never conquer it, and they can never live to something worthy on the outside. Because they fight themselves. Because your relationship with yourself is your most difficult relationship. Because you're the one that's living with yourself 24 hours. You know everything. You write it down. You keep book of yourself and whatever. And you talk with yourself. You blame yourself. You condemn yourself. You don't even know sometimes how negative you are concerning yourself. And you cannot live success on the outside bigger than what is your self-talk with yourself. If you cannot even conquer yourself, how will you conquer your circumstances outside of you? Because you cannot live on a higher level outside of yourself as what you are living inside of yourself. And the biggest problem why people don't get over this fight in themselves, is number one, because they've been raised in the sin theology thing, and they're negative about their whole world view, and how they see themselves, and I don't want to go into it. But the main point is you need to get peace with yourself. I haven't seen a person living in success that's still fighting with himself. It's impossible. It is just totally impossible. You need to get to the place where you make peace not only with your Creator and what He's made you, but you make peace with yourself. How strange you may think you are created and what you think you are and what your reputation or whatever may be. You need to face yourself and be honest with yourself. And know that all these maybe peculiar things that you believe about yourself is there for a purpose. There's a purpose behind everything. Don't fight with the stuff. Deal with it. Go through it. Because there's a lesson and a skill in everything of those things that's for your problem. It is meant to be there. Okay, and number 3 is your spouse. It's supposed to be the best relationship on earth, the most supporting relationship. It's supposed to be the relationship that helps you the most along the road, because as a team we can work very much closer and we can achieve much more success. I've seen it myself, when I'm working at the homes, I work myself, then I need to fetch a screwdriver, then I need to go, and then I need to go. But the moment you're 2 people, it's like, the thing is flowing. Go quickly, get me there, then you go on here, and just quick, then everything is over. Because 2 people are a team, and that's why there's a marriage, because we need a team to raise the next generation. We need a team to get life in a rhythm where we can get momentum. It's very difficult alone to do it. It was designed that way. But also the most beautiful relationship has also the inside capacity to become the most destructive relationship. Because as far as it can go to the positive side, it can go to the negative side. It was not meant to go to the negative side. People say, yeah, but look at all the destructive marriages. Well, if you look at that, you will never marry. Because your motivation needs to be look at all the beautiful things that's available in the marriage. Yes, it can turn out to be another way. But everything that's beautiful in life has a hidden possibility of going very far in the negative also. As beautiful as maybe prosperity and growth and whatever in life, there is a negative side to it also that you need to handle and need to deal with in life. Then we've got family. We've already talked about family. Family is the biggest key in relationships. Because family, as we said, is about relationships about values about identity. And this process need to happen in a family. That's why you are for about 20 years in a family. So that you can learn these things. So that you can have a foundation in your life. Family is the biggest key to wealth creation and wealth preservation. It's maybe the most beautiful story that I've found in my whole Money-Wise course presentations. It's the family legacy thing. It's the generational wealth thing. That's all about family. That is the biggest key to wealth creation and wealth preservation. It's family. It's not business. It's family. I'm tempted to go into it, but I will not go into it. But people, it's extremely important. Family is the key to this world. We need to build around it, because we don't see we don't always see how deeply God has designed everything around family. Not only family in terms of the home, but extended family, bigger family. And how we can support each other, work together, build up a kingdom that's serving each other and then helping each other. That we don't walk alone and stand alone and fight alone. And sometimes you can't get yourself out of a certain rut or a certain thing. And you need an extended family that can come and help you out of it. You can see that at least 93% of all businesses in the world, also the 500 most successful businesses in the world, it was started by families, and about 43% of them are still run by families as well as owned by families, because family is the key. You go, but I mean, Samsung is a family business. But go and look how that whole business falls apart the moment there's problems in the family they can't sort out. Then you see the whole business falling apart, because the business is dependent upon the feeding, the success that's in the family, that's in the people, that's in the family, their contribution in the process to bring a package to the table for that business. Okay. We've already talked about the extended family, your friends. You know, you are actually a sum total of your friends. You know, it's one thing to say that it's important to have relationships, but if you have relationships where nothing is downloaded in your life, that relationship is worth nothing. You know, it is not that, as we've said, the relationship is the key. The relationship gives the possibility that something can flow in two directions. So if there is something in your life that can bless me, there's an opportunity that I can learn from you. But there's an opportunity that you can learn from me. But if I am just a nutcase and knowing nothing, and you're a nutcase knowing nothing, we can have fellowship with each other, but we're going nowhere. Because no one of us knows anything. You see, that's why we're supposed to sort that thing out in a house, because in the house it's supposed to be the place where the parents built into you something that's called a momentum, a starting place, you know, where you can build up for yourself a worldview and see what things are all about, so that when you leave home, you at least got something that you can start to share with people. You can go and study, you can get professional in something, but you've got something to share. The relationships is worth nothing if we don't have anything to share with each other. And the share is a bit more than just braai together, you know. It's nice to share our food with each other. But there needs to be substance to the relationships. And I find it that, you know, that we so go into the electronic age that our relationships get so shallow, you know. There's not always good substance in the whole thing, and the Lord wants us to have good substance, to share something, to leave something with people. You know, I mean, when last could you say, you know, I've left a conversation or I visited someone, and when I left, I'd say, man, I'm so stirred, I'm so built up, I'm so excited, I'm so ignited, you know, because something happened in this visiting year. I'm a better person after it. In every sense of the word. That is what our relationships are supposed to be. Is that we don't need to be freaks that just talking about professional things, you know, but in everything we share each other. You share attitude, you share substance, you share what's bemoedigend in Engels, when you encourage people, you encourage people, you lift people up, you speak into their lives, you say something good to people, you know, you share some word, you know, you share something good that you know of, you've read or whatever. Just share it so that people can also know it, and they also can download, because the key is downloading. You must not visit people and not download. You must be sensitive. What can I download? What can I learn from you? Because you can learn from every person. You can learn from a child. What can I download from you and learn and go away here a better person? But you need to be open to download. You need to be at a place where you believe that you can download. Because if you see yourself as that, you know, you cannot teach me anything, you will not learn anything. Because you have positioned yourself wrongly not to download from people. Okay, well, your friends is very important. That one guy has always said, you know, it's the hands that you shake, the decisions that you make, and the actions that you take. Who are the hands that you shake? Who are those hands that you shake? That's your friends. The decisions that you make and the actions that you take. One guy said his success was according to that. Okay, and the last one, you've got a relationship with money. And money brings you to many people at work that work with you, your boss and whoever, you know. So, but you've got a relationship with money itself that is very important. Money is not just a thing. You've got a relationship with money. Money speaks with you. If you don't think money speaks, let me put R1 million in your hand and you'll see how money speaks with you. You start to see visions, man. You start to see future. You see something, because money speaks and it wants to be in a relationship with you. And money will come to people where money feels safe in a relationship. Are money safe in a relationship with you? Or do you just see money as a thing that's passing by, I need to spend it, Or do money feel that you evaluate him enough? You evaluate him enough to deal with him in the right way, to multiply him, to make it more, to invest it in the right way. Because money will come to people where money feels safe. Because money is not only paper and coins. Money's got a spirit to it. And that spirit is called wealth in the positive side. In the negative side it's called mammon. It's a spirit that's attached to it. And if you can step into that spirit, you will either experience wealth or mammon. Both, one of the two. Because it's a spirit world, it's got an influence upon you. You will either fall under the influence of money, not that the money is evil, but I cannot handle it. I just think according to it, but it's only a means, or I start to invest with it and start to serve other people. That's called wealth creation. Okay. So we've already said a lot of these things in 9.2. Why are relationships so important? We've already talked about relationships, the atmosphere and these things. But let's just quickly look to more sides of it. We've already said it's an atmosphere. Relationships, it's very interesting. Relationships, we use our soul for relationships. It's will, mind and emotions. But relationships is built upon your will and your mind. That's the foundation and the fences. But it functions with the emotion. In essence, most of relationship, when it's happening, is emotion that's flowing. Yes, there is content to it, there's some decisions to it, that gives a form to it, but most of it is emotions. Most of it, because in the emotional side of you, it's making the relationship something beautiful, it gives color to it. But the problem is that you can't build on the emotional side. But you need to be very sorted out and mature in your emotional side. Otherwise, your emotional side of your life that's not under control will become your biggest hindrance in living your success. Because if you are a person that's emotionally out of control, you just get angry at everything, you just freak out and you just swear at everyone, you just say negative things when anything is happening, you just speak all these things in your heart because it's negative, negative, negative. Your mouth and what you're saying and the emotions in it will become one of your biggest obstacles. Although you can build on nothing on it, even though it's positive, you can build on no emotions. You build on, listen, I've got knowledge, I know this is it, then I make a decision to stand up in it and I activate it. Yes, in the process I use emotions to connect with people and to flow and to make the relationship colorful. But the emotions never become the foundation. And lots of people fail in the living of their success because they never discipline their emotional side. I shall say to my boss what I want to say. Because this is the truth. Yes, maybe that is the truth. Maybe it is something that they need to hear. But let me tell you, it's not fruitful. It's not going to work. Because you're supposed in that situation to give respect. Although he doesn't deserve it, the positional in the business world deserves respect. And if you can't take yourself to a place where you give people respect, although they don't deserve it, you will find it difficult, you will get fired maybe every month or two. And you say, yeah, but it is this world. Yes, this world is whatever, but you need to conquer this world. You need to conquer the unrighteousness in this world. Because if you think you will have a job where your boss will always be favorable and in the right judgment every day and everywhere, you're living in a dream world, because there isn't such a world. Yes, some of them are much better than the other. But you need to conquer the thing in yourself. You can't conquer your boss. You don't need to conquer him. You don't need to fight him. You need to learn respect, although people don't deserve it. And give them respect even though they don't deserve it. And people that have learned to keep their emotions under control and not just let it go all over the place, because this is really a time now when they need to hear what they need to hear. It sounds good, it sounds so true, but it's not productive for the relationship in terms of them as well as you. It's a problem. It's not working towards the thing. We can so explode about all the negative in the world, but you know what? It is hindering you from living your success. I've never ever found a wealth creator that wants to talk about the negative in the country. Never in my whole life. Does he not know it? They know everything about it. They know it even maybe better than you and me. But they don't talk about it. They don't make it the subject of the talk. They don't focus upon it. They just know it, and they know the possibilities in it to make money, and then they go and they make money out of the situation. Because they can't change the situation, but they can't change their situation. They can make money out of it. They can position themselves correctly, and at the end of the day, they are better off. But in sitting and in moaning and groaning and being negative, it doesn't say you're not talking the facts. Yes, you may be talking the facts, but it is not helping you to achieve your success. Because it can be whatever situation in a country, you yourself only determines your success. The government does not determine your success. They make it maybe more difficult for you. But nothing except you can hinder your success to manifest. Because it's a spiritual principle. What you are at the moment is a product of all the decisions that you have made up to now. If you don't like it, change your decisions. Not change your country. That can maybe help a little bit, but change your decisions. Because wherever you are, you're going to have to make some decisions. What I'm going to talk to whom I'm going to talk to, who's being my friends, what am I going to study, what am I going to activate, what I'm going to get skills in. Because all these things in the formula of success is things I need to manage constantly in my life from day to day. And it will eventually add up to something that will start to manifest in itself as a beautiful flower that starts to blossom or not. Because life is fair. Let's say this. Life is not always fair in what's happening around you, but God is fair. If God knows that you have put in what is necessary, He will give you the manifestation of the success or whatever you have been living for and what you have made your decisions for all the time. We need to fall in love, as we said, with the process of life and not with the prize of life. All people want the prizes, but you can only get the prize when you walk the process. And the process is all these things: your mouth, your decisions, your actions, your emotions, your dream, your plan, your strategy. All these things need to come together and start to complement each other to bring you to a place where it opens up you and manifests in what you are. Okay, relationships is all about connection. We need to connect. We need to connect for various different reasons, because it's healthy for you to connect. You can only draw out of someone else's life when you connect. You need to spend time and listen and get behind what is maybe just on the outside. We need to learn to connect, if you can say it like that. Because in connection there's intimacy, unconditional love, acceptance, protection and feedback. And we need it in our own development. We need that type of things to come to us through other people. Relationships brings teamwork. Team means together everyone achieves more. T-E-A-M. Together everyone achieves more. It is definitely so that as a team we can go faster, we can go quicker in whatever we do at the end of the day. I don't want to go into that, it's logical. Relationship gives the right support that we need. It gives you people from which you can download. What is extremely important, life is too short. You cannot study everything around you. It is impossible. You need to go to people that have already studied whatever you want to know, and sit with them and start to ask them, because they can teach you in 2 hours that will maybe have taken them 5 years. They can teach you in 2 hours. You don't have maybe the 5 years, but you have the 2 hours. So be quick to connect with people and ask them the question that everyone wants to hear. Tell me your story. Tell me your story, and give them time to tell you their story. Because they want to talk about their lives, because it's the best thing they know about in life. And let them tell you about their life and what they know and what they're doing and why they're doing it, so that you can learn from them. And stop worrying about, what's maybe right and wrong and whatever, because you're not here to always just sit and correct them or whatever. Enjoy and appreciate their story in the first place. Okay, people can be our mentors, they can be our coaches. It's not only downloading from people. I can ask people to speak into my life. I can ask people to help form my life, you can say it like that. Where you don't know which direction, and you sit with people and they don't decide for you, but they help you to get clarity what's going on. Because people that have already walked a pathway, or even just outside of your life, can see more objectively, mostly, what's going on than you that's sitting in the midst of the whole situation yourself. Okay, so relationship is all about communication, it's all about connection, it's all about intimacy and connecting with other people. And need to learn that. It disturbs me to see that how young people can have, let's say, a bride together, but when you stand there and you listen to the people, you find that they don't always connect. People don't know how to connect. It is just as if they form a sort of a shield around them, You need to go to the personal thing. You need to ask some personal questions. Not, in an offensive way, but how do you flow into someone else's life and start to ask him questions? Because asking questions is the way you do it. You ask a general question. What do you think about the church situation in South Africa? Well, that's they can say whatever they want. What do you think about the church situation in South Africa? Well, okay, then you can hear, okay, where are you in terms of church, But that's the third question. You go from general to opinion, and then you go personal. And people don't mind if you respect them and you ask them, and you start to ask them, but where do you stand concerning this? But we fear that going over that line where we ask the question, but where are you in this situation? How do you experience God? Where do you stand? You say you know God. Tell me, how did it come that you know God? Ask them the question. Come to that place and give them an atmosphere of respect. You see, I find that the biggest reason why people are finding it difficult to connect with other people is because they find it difficult to connect with themselves. That's the biggest problem. Because if you have connected with yourself, and you've got peace with yourself, you can go into a relationship or into a conversation or whatever with other people, and when maybe the other person starts to attack you, you're not worried, because you're not defending anything, you're not here to nothing anything, because you believe what you believe, no one needs to believe what you believe, and no one needs to agree, because it's not offensive for you if they don't agree with you. So you haven't got this emotions that's jumping up. Yeah, but you must understand, this. You get your emotions is calm, and when other people get upset, you don't get upset. You say, but wonderful, I like it. You've got the right to believe what you believe. And you don't even need to criticize the person, because you need to have connection with yourself. You need to have in peace with yourself. You need to get out of the tree of good and evil. This is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. You need to tap from the tree of life. Because I want to be a blessing for you in my connection with you. I'm not here, number one, to tell you what I think you're doing right or wrong. I'm here to support you. I'm here to respect you. When I found this thing in my life, I could found a situation where I could talk to atheists and people that is totally, radically different from me in such a way that they like talking to me. And then they later on come to know that I totally disagree with them and they still want to talk with me. Why? Because you're not in the thing of criticizing them. But you slowly, surely, you guide them and facilitate them to start to think about themselves. Not about, I want to win you for the Christian faith, I don't want to win you for the Christian faith. I want to win you that your heart becomes in relationship with your Creator. Your heart, God won your heart, and I want you to discover that your heart has already been bought and won by your Creator. So you turn the conversation back in a respectful way so that that person can come to know himself, and understand that he is actually a very decent person, that just need to rethink some stuff in his life. Some things that he's believing in, whatever. For me, I can't remember any time in my life, except once very long ago, when I was still in the sin theology, when once a total, let's say, heathen, unbeliever, atheist or whatever, I was in a conversation and we were in a debate and a quarrel, and and it was like a twist, No, because you don't need to go like that. You learn how to facilitate relationship in such a way that you've got respect for people and they feel it. It's not like a trick. They feel it, you respect them. And they feel it that you're not busy with a trick in winning them for another group, a party, a church or whatever. I'm not trying to influence you. I'm just wanting you to connect with your heart and ask you honest questions about your heart, and you can ask me honest questions about my heart. There's no reason we cannot learn that. We can learn that. Okay, I just want to close down here with it's 4 things that is actually the heart of relationship. 4, what we call it, relationship factors. You need these 4 things. And I wish we could talk about it in terms of our theology, and you see where is the problem, why are we battling with relationships. Because if your theology can't produce this for you, you will have problems in your relationship. Especially your theology concerning, salvation and all these things. Okay, but in the first place, there will not be a relationship if you don't see in someone else some worth or value. If you don't see it, whatever it may be, doesn't even always need to be something spiritual, but even something like, I get to know this guy, I hear that he's a boffin on this subject, and I always want to know something about it, Immediately there's something of worth on the other side, and it motivates me to reach out to this person, have a conversation, because I see value on that side that I want also on this side. And if I don't see value in other people, you won't be motivated yourself for relationship. And believe it again, if you don't see value in yourself, I tell you, it is impossible to see value in other people. Although there's value in all people. But if you can't see value in yourself, you will battle with relationships to go to other people and start conversations, because if you can't even see value in your own life, how will you see value in other people? It is our biggest problem. That's the self. Ourselves is our biggest problem, because you need to find yourself. You need to find the truth about yourself. Where do you really stand in terms of your Creator? And if you can find yourself and can find that place of value in His heart and everything, you can reach out to other people without getting into fights and all these arguments and whatever. And you can sit down and you can have, I remember I once had the argument with a guy. He was so upset with me, but I just sat there and I said, but about this verse, you don't go into the emotional side, because it's not about emotional. But it overwhelmed him, because I was a heretic according to him, But me not going into the fight, he keeps talking about it, because there was no reason for him to run away. And afterwards he said to me, I can't believe it. I absolutely disagree with you, but I love it talking to you. It's so nice to have a relationship with you, and that bothers me the most. You say, I don't believe what you believe, but what you're living is so beautiful that bothers me. That how can you be such a heretic and you live this things, that I'm longing for myself. Because what we are living speaks very clear to people, more louder even than what we're saying to people. They know what they see in your life, at the end of the day. Okay, every one of these we can have a whole sermon or a lecture upon. But you need to see value. If you don't see value, there will not be relationship. Number 2, you need to come from a place of innocence. If you believe other people owe you, and there cannot be a relationship. Have you ever seen that, you borrow some money to a friend, you will not be able to pay it back, and then he cannot pay it back, and then suddenly the communication just stops, Why? Because in that person there is a guilt, and guilt stops relationship. So we need to deal with guilt. We need to get to a place of innocence and restore it. And if I, as a Christian, constantly keep other people as guilty, you're living in sin, you're guilty, you're under the wrath of God, whatever. That's not relationship, I tell you. You might think you're speaking the truth. I don't think that's the truth. You see, but our message drives people away from us. Because in the process we tell people, I'm innocent and guiltless, but you're guilty. We create groups. And there is not that groups. Okay. So innocence is a very important thing on earth that we need to sort out in our own hearts. The 4th one is equality. It's also, the whole racism thing that we see. Equality means that I don't see myself above you or beneath you or whatever. Yes, we can have certain positions in a business, but somehow you need to find the gospel that can reveal to you that our stature before God is according to our creation and recreation. It's not according to race, not according to gender, it's not according to money, it's not according to status, degrees or whatever. Our equality lies on the fact that we were all created in the image and the likeness of our Creator. We are all different, but in the spirit we are the same. So it all depends what you measure that you meet people with. If you measure with a stick of language, then there are different groups. Then you will say, no, I don't mix with that people because they are not the same language. But it's not wrong that we are different languages, but my measurement of you is not according to language. It's very important. The 4th thing is trust. You cannot have a relationship if there's no trust. Trust is the glue that binds this whole thing together. Most people think that trust is something you need to earn from people. Trust is not something you can earn. You can expect people to earn it, but then you put them into performance. Because I check you, you need to do this, whatever. And it's not that they need to be the right things. The right things, yes, they need to be the right things. But the relationship needs to start with the basis where I say, I give you my trust. I decide to give you my trust. It's a decision in me. And I tell my tenants also, I say, listen, if I put you in this house, it means I trust you. I'm not going to spy upon you, I'm going to nothing upon you. I trust you. And I will trust you till you show me that I can't trust you. So it's all up to you. It's not up to me. I will never distrust you. Because for me, I trust you. I always trust you. And if there's something wrong, we will talk about it and we will try to restore the trust. So that we can go on in the relationship. Because I don't want to live with suspicion towards you. You're someone in my world, and no one in my world I treat with suspicion, because God is not treating me with suspicion. I'm not going to treat you with suspicion. But if you show me that you are a person that is only developed until the point of this, then we will talk again. Because if you show me that let's say, you are not capable of sticking to your decision to pay me every month, then we need to talk again. You're overselling yourself. Because you are not there. You need to make a change. Because you can't stay here. Okay, and it's not that, it's a question that you've shown yourself not trustworthy. Okay, in the end of the day, all of this, we can put everything together, and we've got this word integrity over all of this. All to the power of integrity. The most important thing that people are looking for in other people is integrity. Integrity, we've said, it's a character style. We've got integrity in our spirit, but the moment you've allowed through exercise that the blueprint stamp of integrity in your spirit puts a stamp upon your soul, that people gets to a point where they say, listen, I trust this person. You can tell me whatever I know, I can trust this person. It's because I've seen in the manifestation of your soul over and over again that you allow the integrity of your spirit to put the stamp upon. Yes, you get to confrontations yourself, you get into temptations yourself, yes, but you have proven yourself, I've seen yourself as someone that decide for the principle of the kingdom, that you always make a decision for the principle of peace, for the principle of relationship, for the principle of unity. You know, we know you as a person like this. That doesn't say there will not be differences and problems, but I don't mind to have a problem with you, because I know that because you are a person of integrity, we will be able to work it out. We will not fall into a fight, but I know that you have made even certain decisions beforehand, and that you will stick to certain things that's called, that you are a person of character, and mainly of character because I can see integrity in your life. And that is a very, very important thing. Integrity means basically to be whole and complete. I've seen you as a person that's whole and complete. You're not running after this and then after this and then after this, you know. You've got a whole plan. Your whole life is for your unity. You know, you're not sacrificing certain things for certain things. No, you want everything to be together. And have a reputation that you are a person of integrity, of consistency, that people can see. There is only, integrity means there's only one of you. When I see you at the braai, I see this person. When I see you in church, I see this person. When I see you at the political party, I see the same person. When I see you on Loftus, I see the same person. You know, there's not 4 different people. You know, it's always the same person, different scenarios. But I know what I can expect from you, because you are a person of character, of integrity. And that makes people feeling safe in your presence. And that's what people are really longing for and really desiring out of people. But be that person. But to get there, you need to allow let's say, the blueprint of God's perfect new creation in your spirit to sort of, you know, press itself in that form in your soul. Your will and your mind and emotions are formed by that blueprint in your spirit, so that people know they can expect a manifestation from you according to what they know your real blueprint is all about. Okay, thank you very much.